Hello. Welcome in, Redneck Android and Pepe. How are you two today? Hold on, let me start my What are you two up to? How's your day been? Musical, Pepe. Yes, yes, yes. It's Friday. I'm in a musical mood. Oh, there's two minis today. This is the first one. Shopping and relaxing at home after 2 day shifts. Ah, well, I'm glad you have some time off. What did you shop for? Got one more day off tomorrow? Amazing. Um, so this is a Demogorgon. This version of a Demogorgon technically originated from Stranger Things, but this model is based off the Demogorgon in Dead by Daylight. A padlock on new shoes. Interesting combination. Then we have this guy. This is a Dragoon from Final Fantasy. But we're gonna work on this guy first because he should be easier. You had to lock up the balcony gate? Why is that? What happened? I'm assuming something happened. The old padlock from the previous house owner got all rusty and hard to open. Um, where did I put my... Also been on the lookout for an electric bike. Ooh. Those are all over the place where I'm at. Well, not where I live, but where I work. I live out in the country, but where I work is in the city. Electric bikes are very popular. I could use one for work. Can you commute to work on an electric bike? That's pretty cool. I unfortunately need to use a car to get to and from work. because in order to afford a house in the area where we live, I had to move um 27 miles out of the city. And you cannot bike that far. Well, you could, but it would take a while. Especially after a recent car malfunction. It's a 4-mile long commute, very bikeable. That is very bikeable. I'd say do it, definitely, for sure. My day's been pretty good. I'm not at work anymore, which is great. I get to paint minis. Tomorrow, Shroom and I are going to something in Atlanta called Panda Fest, which is it's a weekend long event, but we're only going tomorrow. Um, it's a food festival, like for like Asian cuisine. I'm very excited. It's all outside. I hopefully won't get burned. I am very pale. um, but I'm very excited to eat some good Asian cuisine. What's your favorite flavor of Asian food? Do you have a particular region that you like food from? I prefer Japanese, but I could get down with some Thai. And Korean is good too. I like the novelty of hot pot and Korean barbecue. You like ramen and crispy Thai chicken the most? Used to have sushi in the past, but it's too expensive for this economy. Yeah, it could be quite pricey depending on what type of fish you're getting.
I'm sure you're happy.
Okay, I'm back. It's fine. House loans and bills won't pay themselves. Yeah, that's the truth. Also, hello, Will. PP. PP. Hello, Cloud. Thank you. I still don't understand the origin of your nickname. Hello, Celebalf. How are you? Yeah, is Lincoln Park. Old school Lincoln Park too. Their new music is alright. I still get down with their new music, but it's just not the same without Chester. Doesn't smack the same. You're awake. Welcome to the land of the living. Okay. It's a machine pistol, if you remember correctly. Ah. A Polish good job. Dobra robota. That was pretty good. I mayhaps took some Russian, so there's some of a pronunciation that I can do somewhat. It's not great. I probably still very clearly sound like an American, but cool. I mean, maybe. I hardly remember anything other than like very good, which is Achin Horosho, which I have an issue pronouncing that one. It's the Achin part that I don't quite get the back of the throat sounds on. Dobro utro is like good morning or something like that. Pajolsta, I know that one. Which is like the same as please and excuse me. It's used interchangeably. The R was very American. Listen, I'm American. What do you want from me? Lincoln Park's new singer is great. The old stuff just doesn't sound right. The new stuff is great, but the new singer with the old stuff, no thanks. Yeah, the her singing the old songs, it just doesn't hit the same. I agree, but their new album that they released, it it's great. I love it. But again, it's still the Linkin Park sound. I find myself pining after Chester, unfortunately. I want nothing but a miniature painting stream and a cute dwarf to look at. Well, you're in luck. You get both of those things today. Blah, blah, blah. Look at this fleshy boy. He's really light right now. But my plan is fun. Focus. Is to paint him flesh toned and then do a couple washes over him to make him look grungy and dirty and fill in those gaps. This is very rude of you to stream on the one Friday. The NFL is streaming on YouTube, so now I have to pick between you and the rare times I watch American football. You don't have to pick. Go watch football if you want to watch football. You don't have to be here. If something is a more rare occasion, pick the rarer thing. Promise I won't be offended. They look like they stole someone's skin. Yeah. They'll look like that for a little bit. Wait, I'm not contractually obligated to be here? No, you are not. Granted, I enjoy having you here. By all means, stay if you wish to stay. But I am not going to make you stay if you do not wish to be here. That would be very rude of me. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I almost dropped that paint right on the mini. Give my dog a treat. She is upstairs. Give me a moment. I heard the woofer. Yeah, she's upstairs barking at Shroom, who's antagonizing her. Lily! Lily, do you want a treat?
Papa was in the middle of giving me.
Oh, that's a bigger treat. Okay, okay.
You can. It was in her mouth, and I had to pull it out.
Oh no. Wait, wait. All right. Oh. Oh God. Come here. Can you sit? Can you? Oh, good girl. Can you lay down? Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Stop. I didn't say that. I said lay down. Okay, that was a paw. Yeah.
Lay down.
Lay down. Sit. Lay down. Lay down. You assume too much, Lily. Yes, she was briefly robbed of her treat, and then she got it again. Okay. don't know how I had this camera. Doesn't look right now that I've moved it. Oh well. Lily goes through practically every single possible interaction till one works. Yeah, but like if she just listened, she would get the treat a lot sooner. Instead of assuming what I'm gonna ask her to do. She is a good girl though. She's just old and a little stubborn. Yes, yes, mother, I'm listening. Let's see. Woof, paw, sit perhaps. No. Laying down it is. Yeah. No, that's pretty much what she does. I unfortunately, when I first started just making her speak for the treat redeems, she's just been conditioned that every time I give her a treat at this desk that she needs to speak. And unfortunately, now that I have like cam streams where you guys see my hands, I can actually show you her, which means I can show her doing other things other than speaking. But she's so used to speaking now that she's just like, she thinks that's what I'm gonna ask every time. It's funny. As I've gotten older, I take every opportunity to lay down whenever I can. Wait, I'm not that old yet, damn it. Listen, I'm 30, which arguably isn't that old in the grand scheme of things, but man, am I tired all the time. Life is just exhausting. Adulting is difficult. I dread the moment when I turn 30, which is in 4 years. Right around the corner. But hey, you're over 25. That means your cells have reached the point where they are not replenishing as fast as they're dying. So you are officially dying. Every day, you're closer to death now. Yippee, yeah. So, take care of your body. I work in a place where most people there are just late teens, early 20s, so me being 28 means I'm seen as ancient. I've started to take multivitamins. Thankfully, I'm not like the oldest person in the lab anymore, but for a while there, I was. Other than like my boss, but my boss isn't really in the lab. I'm on the younger side of people at my work, but I'm one of the most experienced on my production line. Ooh. That's always a good position to be in, where you have the most, like, technical skills out of any one where you work with. That makes it harder for you to be replaced. At least my bosses are still older than me, one of which looks much older despite being in the middle of me and my general manager. Wow, what are they, like a smoker or something? Usually the people who to me looks like they're significantly older than they are, they're usually smokers. I've made sure to make them think I'm not easily replaceable. Good, good, good. Even on sick leave, my boss sometimes called me to ask how to do something. Ah, that's good and bad. Make sure they respect your time off. That's all I have to say. Otherwise, they'll keep taking advantage of you. Now, if they pay you for like the time that you're off the clock during normal work hours to help them with problems, that's a different story. That needs to dry for a little bit. How's everyone's week been, though? And does anyone have any fun plans for the weekend? Huh? For what? What?
I was able to shoot water through.
Nice. Loudon, hello. Currently limping to mom's house from work. Oh no. What happened? Also, thank you. I will hydrate. You rolled your ankle at work. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Hope you recover soon. But also, do you have the weekend off? Do you have time to recover? I'm good. I haven't been at work since Tuesday of last week. Well, you've had a nice little vacation for your birthday, yeah? Are you enjoying it? Looking for ideas for a Saturday. I might go to a very good ice cream place and maybe a restaurant. Ooh, what kind of restaurant? Yeah. Excuse me. Otherwise, nobody will ask me out to do anything. Gaming weekend it is. Well, both of those, both going out and staying home, sound great. I have been at home doing very little, so it's going to be weird going back into work on Sunday. I find having a lot of time off and finally getting back into work um, usually makes going back to work almost refreshing, if that makes sense. Haven't had a kebab in a while. That's going to be my pick. Yeah. So I'm about to mix two washes. Kind of make it like a gross, I don't know, sickly, weird, fleshy color, if that makes sense. I know that sounds like a great combo. Sickly, weird, fleshy. Yes. Washes help give details. It is a faster way to give the illusion of shading and highlights. You can do those by hand, and there are some people in the community who think that that's how shading and highlighting should be done, and they condemn the use of washes. But I think if you have the tools in your toolkit, might as well use them. What type of kebab did you have today? Shoot. Oh. He has a little bit more shading and detail now, as I'm sure you can see, especially on his stomach where the crease is, and in his elbows. Yeah, washes are great. While he dries, I'm gonna start on the Dragoon. Can't wait for my minis coming in for the Deep Rock Galactic board game. I am excited for you, my friend. Are they paintable or do they come like pre-colored already? Mm. Paintable? Amazing. When you are working on models, the technique that I like to use to paint is to do the deepest recesses first and work your way out from there. Um, that's because like when you paint the most recessed layers, if you paint them first, you don't have to be as careful. You can get it on the other layers. Um, and it won't affect the outcome of the miniature because you're just going to paint over it when you go to paint those outer level details. But if you wait and you do those recessed layers last, they're going to be more difficult to reach if you've already painted what surrounds them. And your job with cleaning up any potential spillover is going to be harder. Wouldn't think of that, thank you. Yeah, it's one of those things that when you first start painting, you're like, oh, I'm gonna paint the stuff I can reach really easy first, because that's the temptation, but you cannot fall into that temptation. Don't do it. My blue tack is losing its sticky. I'm easily tempted by easy things, min-maxing real life. your best friend, by the way. This is Blue Tack, or the brand that I have is Loctite, but there's also a brand called Blue Tack and a bunch of other knockoffs. Anything like this, it's a malleable polymer that is sticky and it doesn't dry out. So the only reason it becomes not sticky, as I'm sure you could tell the color difference, this one has a bunch of like dirt and paint and everything like that in it, and that's what makes it lose its sticky. But when it's blue like this, once you knead it up and you warm it up the first time, it becomes very sticky. And this stuff is great for posters to hang on your wall. It's great for miniatures, sticking them to your whatever you're using to hold. Hello, Yuzi. Thank you for the lurk. No, thank you for being an awesome Pepe. Thank you so much for the resub. I appreciate the support so much. Alright. Black base. Done. Except for the inside of his thigh. Never mind. Not done. And his crotch. That also needs paint. Okay. Black base. Done. Your playlist is a jam. What are your favorite bands and artists? Lately, I've been so historically I would say Panic at the Disco is my all-time favorite. Um, but lately I've been listening a lot to uh Saint Motel, Burn the Ballroom, Set It Off, uh and yeah. Those I think are the one oh Glass Animals. Poor Cloud. Uh, but I listen to a lot of different stuff. My mood can vary depending on the day. Sometimes I want to listen to electronica, sometimes I want to listen to classical, sometimes it's video game music. Most of the time I would say it's like rock or alternative though. Usually alternative of some sort. Thank you, Tonai. You're a blessing, Tonai. I appreciate you, my friend, and I'm sure Cloud also appreciates you. I was saying that it was really funny that that happened to you, Cloud. What music do you all like? I know I just kind of play whatever music I like on my channel, but what music are you all interested in? I'm glad to hear that my predicament was fun for you. Listen, it was funny. You can't even deny it, otherwise you wouldn't have shared it, I don't think. It was fun. But I was saying, now that you don't have ads, this is the black base for the armor in the reference photo. And from here, I'm gonna layer up and work on those like silver details and everything like that, which is gonna be time consuming. Lots of pop music. The ones I listened are considered pop. What? Hold on. Palais Royal, Palais Royal is a rock band. Thank you for the biddies. Those Tiggle biddies. um, what else did I say? Burn the ballroom. Burn the ballroom. Is a rock band. What did you look up? Damn. Pop. Glass Animals, I think, is the only one that's considered pop. Oh, no. Apparently, Glass Animals is also considered rock. It's a British indie rock band. Panic at the Disco and Saint Motel. Panic is considered pop now? Well, that makes sense. They're no longer a band. His newer stuff is all solo, I think. Panic. Pop punk. Pop rock. Alternative rock. And then Saint Motel. Oh, Saint Motel is also apparently a pop band. Interesting. So mostly rock then, I dig it. Yeah, I would say what I listen to most often is rock. But as I said, as I mentioned earlier, there's a little bit of everything sprinkled in. We're actually listening to my liked playlist right now, but it's on Smart Shuffle, so it's mostly all my liked songs with a few stuff related to my liked songs sprinkled in every now and then. So like this song is Panic at the Disco and it's specifically on my playlist. The 24-hour stream deserved something. Oh, a hype chest. Oh, my goodness. We got a kitty emote. Oh, it's so cool. I love it. Oh, amazing. I love it. I love it. I should get a Maeve emote that looks like that. All for the dwarf and the awesome community. Thank you. I'm definitely here for the awesome community as well. If you guys weren't as awesome as you were, it wouldn't be nearly as fun to stream. My sub didn't contribute to the hype train. Sag. Oh, because it was at the very beginning of the stream, probably. Or maybe Prime. No, wait. Do you use Prime or do you? Are you one of my Prime people? Hold on, I need to scroll up. Where'd your sub go? Oh no, you paid. You're not Prime. I laid down the rails so the train could choo choo. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. It was a regular sub. Yeah, I just saw it. It was indeed a regular sub. Which I appreciate all subs. If you're a Prime person, that's okay. I promise. But yeah, I don't know. I guess because you were the first one, and hype trains only count subs towards the hype train after the hype train starts, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how hype trains work. I just know they show up sometimes. That's okay. I can live without a cat and sunglasses. Fair and valid. Gosh, I love painting in dark gray because it looks like I'm not painting anything. Glad to be a contributor. I'm glad that is sufficient. I'm happy to have you all here. That's all that matters to me. Even if you guys don't sub or anything. I just like the interaction. It's fun to chit chat with you all. Always down to chat on stream or off. Likewise, I'm so glad I opened up the Discord. I was really hesitant about it for a very long time. I've literally had that Discord since I started streaming back in 2022. um, and I was just always scared to open it up. I didn't know if people would join, and it's the same reason why I never had a debut or anything like that. I was always scared that people wouldn't show up. Everyone thinks that way in the beginning. Yeah. Mind goblins were at fault. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. That self-doubt that everyone has that they need to get over. Okay. So, there are like a dark steel and a shiny steel. I don't know how good the reference is for you guys, but I have a bigger version up on my other monitor. And there is, so the armor is black, and then there's accents that are a gunmetal mixed with a little bit of gold, and then what looks like a really shiny silver as well. So let's go with that. Let's start with the mixing of metallics. Right, so I'm gonna mix a tiny bit of this gold with this gunmetal, and then this is gonna be the shining silver for the other accents. And we'll see how that looks. Maximum edge colors, yeah. So the funny thing, so the person that I've been painting minis for, they're a long time regular. Long before I started streaming, they've been a regular of my Etsy store. Um, Great customers. Pretty much, they order 4 painted minis at a time, and whenever I finish one order, they're prepared with another order immediately. So they keep me. I don't want to say gainfully employed because this doesn't pay the bills, but they keep me with enough business to warrant continuing to do painted minis. um, but they order so many dragoons. They love the dragoons. It's it's funny, honestly. This is the second one they've ordered this year. They need an army. Yeah, they do, clearly. It says that I've liked this song, but I do not recognize what this song is. I love when that happens. I've liked so many songs. Oh, I know this song. Never mind. Soon I will also receive a Maeve painted mini. Yeah, you're gonna get more than one mini, because you want me to combine all your stuff together in one order that you want. You don't have to put it in one order. I just thought it'd be easier for you and cheaper. Well, it is easier technically. Because it means I only have to worry about packing once. Okay, let's see. My old rock and metal playlist I've started back in 2016 has been collecting some dust. So this Spotify playlist that I'm on is relatively new. I started it this year. Uh but that's because the YouTube music app won't work with Streamlabs, so I had to start Spotify because I could use Spotify with Streamlabs. Um and but my YouTube I've been collecting music on since 2012, and that's what I use when I'm driving to and from work. It has a lot of songs. But I'm that person who doesn't make playlists. If I like a song, it all just goes in my liked playlist. And then people are like, "Oh, send me your workout playlist." And I'm like, "I don't have one. I just use my liked playlist." And they're like, "What do you do when a song comes on that's not like workout material?" And I'm like, "Any song is workout material if you try hard enough." Mhm. I'd be surprised by some entries now. Oh, yeah, it's that. When I'm listening to my YouTube one, if I put it on shuffle instead of most recent, it'll throw me a song out there that I haven't listened to in forever, and it's like a blast from the past. I think it's fun. I don't always like the song that comes up anymore, because some songs I'll play them to death, and I won't like them anymore because I play them so much. But I think it's fun to relive those memories. Bad Omens, my beloved. Yep. They have a lot of songs on my playlist. Sleep Token, Sleep Theory. Which I feel like a little bit of a fraud for being a fan of Sleep Token, because the way I was introduced to Sleep Token was through Book Talk. uh, so it's a little silly, but hey, at least they have another fan. A big stretch. I will. Thank you so much, Pelican. Ugh. Howdy. I've heard their instrumental on a YouTube video and fell in love with them for a few weeks. Who, Sleep Token? Yeah, so I really like the vibe of Sleep Token songs, but I don't know if I'm just getting old or what, but I feel like I can't understand half of what God, what is his name? The lead singer. I forget it already. I can't understand half of what he says. Yeah, Sleep Token. Yeah, I like their vibes a lot, but I can't sing their songs because I don't know what he says half the time. So I added shiny bits. Some of their songs feel too dragged out for my taste. Yeah, I can see that as well. Um, some of them are very long for no reason, I feel. But a lot of their charm, I think, comes from their music videos, or at least a few that I've seen, because their music videos tell a really big story, and that's that like lull that you hear when you're just listening to the song. There's usually stuff going on in the music video. Um, but I don't have time to be watching their music videos all the time. You skipped food, Cloud. Go eat. Get food. Oh no, my paint top is stuck. There we go. I only watch music videos for Falling in Reverse. I do dig Falling in Reverse, though I hate whatever their new country song is. Excuse me? Ronnie Radke, what the fuck are you doing with that? I hate it. Oh god, I'm gonna need my magnification glasses for this. He is not meant for country. I will say that much. Ronnie is wacky. Yeah, he's a little out there. Um, I don't think I'd ever want to meet him in person, but I definitely like his music a lot. Okay. You guys gonna see my goggles at all? Couldn't expect less from a person with a full body tattoo. Hey, don't knock on full body tattoos. One day I'm gonna be fully tatted up, and I think I can definitively say I am not crazy like Ronnie Radke is crazy. But honestly, the most unhinged people I met are like the people who don't think you should get any tattoos at all. You know what I mean? Who completely shit on the idea. Have you seen his body? Don't know if you like. Oh, yeah, I've seen some of his tattoos. Not his whole body, but. Yeah, some of his tattoos. Oh. God damn it. There's more hair. Him and, Post Malone and Lil Wayne all have the same, like, tattoo vibes, in my opinion. That might be a hot take, but it's giving their friends did their tattoos in their basement instead of going to a tattoo shop. But that might be really rude to say. I'm glad that made you laugh, Tonai. I will drink. I will hydrate. Thank you so much. I have hydrated. Thank you so much. I remember when my old card shop guy got his sleeve done, it was wicked cool. Well done tats are fantastic. Yeah. I just got one recently finished on my calf that I really like. I could post a picture of it to Discord right now. Give me a moment. I don't know. Art Horde, I guess, is where it's gonna go. Alright, tis posted. Fire tattoo, love the depth. Yeah, my artist did a great job. I've been wanting to get that tattoo for close to probably a decade now. But I couldn't find an artist in my area that I really liked, either when I lived more north or when I moved down here. But I saw on Instagram that a guest artist who did really good work was coming to Atlanta, and I was like, "Oh, I have to get that tattoo from this guy." And I'm so glad that I was able to book with him and get it done, because he did a fantastic job. Couldn't ask for a better uh a better hand. Your artist cooked, yeah. I agree. He did a great job. I couldn't sit there and yap with him like I wanted though, because he only spoke Korean. Um, so it was a very quiet session. I usually like to talk to my artists, but I couldn't talk to him. So I just read the whole time, which was uncomfortable. If you have to lay on your stomach for 4+ hours, your ribs begin to hurt. Imagine a square room with two cashiers on the opposite side from each other, across the room, staring at you at any given time across the room. How many times did you want to say across the room? I'm kidding. Yeah, that's a little weird. Imagine someone sleeping on their belly. I just can't. I toss and turn. I rotisserie chicken all night long. I had a foster dog for a few months. At first, he slept at the foot of the bed, but after dealing with me and my flailing legs of doom, he decided body slamming me in the back and curling up was the play for sleeping. Oh man, I'm surprised the dog didn't just abandon the bed completely. Our dog usually lays with us for all of like 5 minutes and then she's done. Um, but she's also like, you have to pet me constantly, and if you stop petting me, I'm gonna get an attitude about it and leave. So, also, I realize that the mini probably isn't framed for a lot of this because I'm like squinting, like real up close next to the mini. I apologize. Oh man, I'll try to be better about not doing that. Fair, if you don't pet, what's the point? But like, sometimes I just want to sleep and have her curled up with me. But alas, she doesn't want that. That's some cat behavior. It's female dog behavior. Okay, have some accents going on. Give this boy some shine. Are you all enjoying the tops of my goggles? There's no avoiding it at this point. I've gotten into the details that require it. Best goggle stream on Twitch. Hell yeah, brother. Hit you, so professional. Have you thought about wait, hold on. Have you thought about using instead of the goggles, one of the microscopes for soldering this with the screen and video output? Um, no. I haven't. I have thought about getting one of those magnification lenses that I can look through. So, the thing with the goggles, right, is I got these before I ever intended to stream. So they work great. The issue is when you look through them, the field of view for the mini to be in focus is like that far away. The lenses aren't made to zoom in on a field of view that's farther away. It's made for like this distance. Um, so what I need to do is I need to get one of those like it's a ring light that has a magnification disc lens in the middle. So when you look through it, the field of view for like magnification is like farther away so that I can have the mini here while looking through a magnification glass and be able to see without having my face really close up next to it. That's what I need. I just don't have one. So you get to deal with the top of my goggles for now. And I don't know how some mini painters do it, how they can paint without any magnification and it look real good. I'm not that good. I need to be able to see every little detail. Yeah, I do. I think about it every time I apologize for you guys seeing the tops of my goggles. We'll be fine with seeing them. Yeah. You're gonna have to be if you guys want mini painting streams. One day I'll have a proper setup. Like a proper setup to show you guys like everything instead of just a small window. Yes, please. I think I'll head to bed now. Thanks for the tips and have fun painting. No problem. Good night. Sleep well. I hope you have an excellent weekend. Speaking of Ronnie Radke, this is the man himself. This thing is amazing. I really like the style of this figure. Yeah, Dragoons are cool. And this is the new Lincoln Park.
I bring you an Irish offering. Potato.
A potato. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I cut a lid out and put butter in it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Someone would be really new to painting minis. What would you recommend trying, using, etc.? Well, the big thing is if you're going to be painting small minis like this, so for sale, line anywhere? I don't. Uh, so a standard.
They're good potatoes too, so you can probably eat.
Thank you, love. So a standard writing utensil, for instance, next to a mini for size, or a potato for size. Potato for size. So a mini this small, having miniature paints is very necessary. And I know that's like in my like it seems like a hurdle to buy a whole set of mini paints because a set of like 30 paints can be like $60 and that can be expensive to some people, especially when they're only plan on using a few colors from a set for one mini. But the reason miniature paints exist is because even though they're just acrylic paints, the pigment in these paints is ground up so finely that when they dry, the pigment lays differently than the acrylic paints that you buy at the craft store that are used for canvas painting. The acrylics that you can buy at the craft store, they can be high quality. You can get the most expensive paints there. But if the pigment isn't finely ground enough, when that acrylic dries on the mini, it'll look chalky. Um, I went through that growing pain. I bought a bunch of acrylic paints from the craft store because I thought, oh, why would I buy a small little bottle of acrylic paint that this is like $4 when I can get, a big bottle for the same price and it'll last me 10 times longer. Well, I painted my first mini with those and it was chalky. It did not look good. It looked dusty, and there was nothing I could do to fix it. Um, so that would be my biggest thing for new mini painters. If you just want to see if painting minis is your jam and you have acrylic paints lying around your house, sure, use those. But if you want to really make it a good experience and have a good result that you're happy with at the end, you need miniature paints. And then, of course, the next level to that is airbrushing, which I haven't even gotten to the level of using an airbrush yet. Um, but what else? You don't need the fancy Kowalski brushes. I've been doing just fine with these synthetic ones. The Kowalski brushes, the sable hair brushes, they hold paint better. That is true. You will get a lot farther with a Kowalski brush in terms of like how often you need to go back for more paint, how quickly it dries out, everything like that. But you can work around that with synthetic brushes by either thinning your paints more or applying a thinner layer and doing more layers instead of saturating the brush entirely. There's a lot you can do. Prime your miniatures. You have to prime your miniatures. I don't care who you buy them from. I used an airbrush a few times in my life, but not on minis, instead on giant surfaces for effects painting. Ooh, that sounds fun though. Yeah, they make miniature airbrushes for mini painting. um, Priming your minis is a must. If you don't, I'll show you what happens since I have a Dragoon here that I'm not using for this order. That was hot. Oh my god. So you guys have seen how I've been painting this one. The paint goes on. This mini's primed. I have a shield here. That should work. So, this mini is not primed. The paint will not apply smoothly. It'll bead up. See how it's like pulling together? and leaving gaps and everything like that, it shouldn't do that when you paint on primer. So priming is a must. Even if you decide you don't want to buy miniature paints and you want to use acrylic paints, use a primer. Yeah, it doesn't want to stick properly. Exactly. Um, the color you prime with will affect the tone of the mini. Um, so the darker your primer, the darker the color you put over it will look. Unless, of course, you put on a lot of layers. Eventually, you'll saturate it all, and you won't have to worry about whatever the tone is underneath. But if you're only doing a couple layers, if you use a dark primer, then your mini will be darker than if you use a white primer underneath. You could also use that to your advantage for different effects. For instance, if you prime a model with white primer, it's very easy to use contrast paints, otherwise known as speed paints, in order to kind of like I use washes, how they fill the recesses, but they also kind of stain the higher levels as well, or the higher layers as well. Um, you could use speed paints on a white model and very quickly get what looks like shading of different colors depending on the paint you're using. Whereas if you use a dark um, primer like black or gray, it's easier to develop shadows by painting them instead of by relying on a wash. What I should really do is do like test prints for you guys of the same model and prime them with different colors and do like a class one day. Yeah, it depends on how much time I have. Mm, that potato was decadent. All right. Oh gosh, I don't know what the back of this guy is supposed to look like. Guess I'm just gonna guess. And just do something that I think looks good. Oops. Um, you can fix mistakes by just immediately wiping it off. It might take a few passes, especially with things like metallics, because the pigments suspend really easily. So it dilutes and all the sparkly still stays. But a couple passes and it's fixed. I can fix mistakes also by just laying in the corner and crying. Does that really fix your mistakes though? Or um does it just let you ignore your problems? Ugh. Excuse me while I look at this guy's crotch. Sometimes I find it really hard to see where parts of a menu like continue with each other. I just kind of full send it and hope for the best. come in to slurp, give, kith, and lurk. Thank you so much, Artie. Thank you for the lurk also. This looks amazing. Thank you, thank you. Here he is. Dragoons are so fucking cool. This client thinks so. This is like the fifth one he's ordered. Yeah, they're cool. The amazing Maeve did all this. Yeah. Damn straight. Got where I left off. Are You like this song, Cloud? I'm glad you're enjoying it. This song makes me eepy more than anything. It gives lo-fi type vibes. A big stretch, I will. Don't know if the freehand I'm doing for this part is any. I suck at freehand. It's so difficult. Big stretchy. Oh no! Oh no! Everything went south with the water redeem. Yeah, it's okay though. All broke down, sent the bills to Cloud. Mhm. I don't know what this one thing is, but it looks like it's red in the reference photo. I'm gonna paint it red. On my screen. It looks red on my screen. Is Cloud red blind? Are my eyes broken? um. Oh. Hmm. Feel like there should be more shiny on him. But I think that's just because the black is supposed to be shiny. Like, there's supposed to be light reflecting off of it, even though it's black. Also don't have a very good reference for the back part of his staff. Or gun, or whatever the fuck this thing is. I don't know what it is, but I don't really have a good reference for the back bit. His legs are blocking it. Photo. But it kind of looks like this back blade is silver. Are you winning, son? I'm painting. Does that count? How are you, Gortug? That does count. I'm great, thanks. How has your week gone? What are your plans for the weekend? Today was terrible at work, but the week was good. Oh no, what was terrible about work? Everything was wrong? He has risen. You? You have risen? Welcome in, Mex. I didn't get to take my truck, so I had to take a van with the trailer. Ew. Oh no. Why couldn't you take your truck? I didn't have extra cords on the van and had to have someone bring me some. Oh. Then stripped an important screw and needed rescuing again. Oh no. That really sucks. So sorry. Um, so earlier this week I took a few days off work for mental health. And that meant someone else was in charge of splitting my cells, keeping them alive while I was gone. And for the most part, all the cell lines that I asked them to maintain while I was gone looked good. But one of them was contaminated. And I was a little upset, not gonna lie. But it's whatever, I guess. And then I wasn't there Friday of last week either. And the person in charge of checking the water bath incubators didn't check them. So today, when I went to go do my cell culture, I discovered that the water bath inside the incubator that keeps the humidity high enough for the cells was completely dry, which would have been avoided had someone checked last Friday that it was low. Cell lines explain. Oh, hold on. So my first two stops took like 3 hours when it should have been one. I couldn't take the truck because another guy needed it. Mental health is good, agreed. Cell lines explain. Okay. Cell lines. I do research. I work in a lab. And my research involves seeing how viruses affect human cells. But obviously, I can't go just testing it around on my lab mates. So we need to grow cells in dishes that are like this big around. They're little dishes, and you fill them with media or food that they like, and you put the cells in, and they grow in a layer. Well, because it's not in a body, yeah, it's like a petri dish, except there's a special like treatment on them that allows cells to grow on it. A regular petri dish, you can't grow them on. It needs to be cell culture treated, as they call it. But um, so yeah, we grow them in these dishes, and one of my dishes was contaminated. Whoever split my cells, and I know exactly who it was, but whoever split them wasn't practicing sterility, and they got something in the flask that grew that shouldn't have been there. So my cells were contaminated. It was no longer just cells. It was cells and fungi, and I don't need the fungi. It skews results. Burned hand? What'd you, huh? You burned yourself? Big oof, yeah. Yeah. Even though I've been in the lab the longest, I'm the only one who hasn't contaminated their cell lines. The only time my cells have ever been contaminated are when I hand them off to someone else to take care of them because I'm not gone, or because I'm gone and I can't. Makes me angry. That sounds like an annoying problem to have, though. I mean, it is, because now it takes time, right? I can replace the cells, but they're in a tank that has liquid nitrogen in it that keeps them at minus 120 degrees. So we have to thaw them and then wait for them to recover and grow. I can't just thaw one out and be ready to do experiments, so I'm now delayed by a week. Don't bark at me. So now I'm delayed by a week because someone contaminated my cells, and I'm upset. I too am upset. It's okay, we could all be upset together. As an occupational hazard. But don't. Have you considered? I also burned myself recently. Look, I burnt. Wait, I burnt. um, I accidentally. I was putting stuff in the autoclave, which is it's this giant oven, but instead of getting hot and dry like the oven in your kitchen does, the um the autoclave it it, it okay, think giant oven, but it seals like with a giant locking mechanism. Um and it pressurizes, so it increases the pressure inside the chamber, and then it gets really hot via steam. So it's like an oven, but pressurized and steamy. Um, yeah, and an autoclave, yeah. So yeah, we use it to dispose of waste because you need the waste to get up to a certain temperature, otherwise it's not safe for disposal. And the fastest way to do that is to put it under pressure and steam it, as opposed to putting it in an oven and burning it. Putting it in an oven and burning it also produces CO2 waste as well as like ash waste. So it's just easier to steam it in these bags that don't melt. Anyway, I was putting stuff in the autoclave and I touched it. This very hot machine that gets to 121 degrees Celsius. Uh, to kill all the germs. Yes, exactly. Pressure cooker style. Yeah, 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 yeah. The pressure increases the temps. Yes. Um, the pressure increases the temp. It also means that stuff boils faster. The pressure for stuff or the amount of energy it takes to boil a liquid is decreased because the pressure increases. Um, but but yeah, I touched this giant metal thing and I barely like it was a second. I didn't leave my arm on there, but I'm burnt and I'm now scarred because of it. 4 out of 5 dentists recommend not touching an autoclave with your arm. So I have a fun story about the autoclave that doesn't involve an injury. When I first started working at the lab, it was just me and my boss. We didn't have anyone else. And and I was having issues with the autoclave. I was like, man, like I can't get the lever open that locks it and closes it and opens it. And I tried and I tried and I tried. I couldn't get it open, so I walk down to my boss's office and I get him and I'm like, "Hey, boss man, um I'm trying to get the autoclave door open and it won't budge. It's stuck." So he walks down there with me and I was like, "These are all the things that I've tried. Here, watch." And I shit you not. I pull on the lever and it fucking opens. And I basically drug this man out of his office all the way down to the autoclave room so he could watch me open the goddamn door. Ugh. Was he proud though? I mean, he just kind of looked at me and he was like, "Well, it seems like the issue resolved itself." And I'm like, "I promise I was struggling. Like, I tried exactly what I just showed you and it didn't work." And he's like, "Okay." And to this day, I don't know if he believes me. But it's fine. I'm the best asset that he has in the lab, and that's all that matters. Even though I haven't been promoted over it. It's the classic thing of once you show something, it goes south. Yeah. So it's not just me that this happens to in the lab. Thankfully, there have been many instances of other people in the lab going to Chris and being like, "Hey, this thing isn't working. I've tried to ask Maeve, I've tried to ask this person. None of us can get it to work." And then as soon as he walks down to the lab, it works. And it's just like, I don't know what it is, but it gives like when your significant other or your mom is like, "Oh yeah, the ketchup bottle is right here." Like they explain where something is in the fridge and you're like, "It's not there," as you're looking at where they're saying. And then they walk over and you look away from the fridge and you look back and all of a sudden it's there as if it was always there. It's magic. It's sorcery. It's witchcraft. That's all I can think that it is. Darn it. Praise the Omnissiah, appeased the machine spirit. What do we think? Black? Yeah. Faithful to the reference? I think so. It looks pretty. I would buy such a mini. Good. Excellent. So, fresh blue tack sticks to everything. uh, all you have to do is just pull it off. Maeve, I would buy damn near anything you made or printed. Good, good, good. I'm gonna go back to this ugly bastard now. Maeve is dangerous to our wallets. Sorry for my head being in the way. But it is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Currently, my goal is to get Maeve a new GPU so she can stream more games. Well, that's the community goal. It's not just your goal. You just so happen to be the only one contributing. But everyone who buys subs also contributes, so. I don't even know if you can tell what I've done. The camera's too bright. Old school room state pairs perfectly with mini stream, just saying. Yeah. Grind on RuneScape, listen to music, occasionally look over and see how the mini's progressing. Painted his teeth first. Oh gosh, I don't even know if the camera can pick them up. They're so tiny. It does pick up the little things in his mouth? Okay, good. Yeah, the little teeth. I think to make this model more interesting, I'm going to add some blood to the hands and feet, which is going to be fun. I love me some blood effects. I used to have blood effects paint, however, it's dried up, so I need to do it the old school way. Yeah, hold on. Yes, thank you, Cloud. Thank you. Blah, 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 blah. Go. The old school way involves a knife and some pain tolerance. No, because if you were to use actual blood, it would oxidize and it wouldn't be red anymore, it'd be brown. Don't want that. Want the blood to look fresh. You want it to look like he just ripped someone's guts out. Um, hydrate, I will. Also, I'm not shrimping. Be proud. If they ripped a butt out, think brown would be more appropriate in the long run, so I stand. No, I said gut, not butt. Goopy. I didn't appreciate that. Scared the shit out of me.
I was trying to scare the dog.
Well, you also scared me.
I'm gonna go get.
I think you also scared Cloud. Shroom is a menace, says Cloud. He's just laughing maniacally from the stairs.
Want cereal?
No, thank you. Blah. Look at that. Already better. All because I made him bloody. Max is undeterred. Brilliant, I'm glad.
Lily, who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Good girl.
Cloud said that was clever. You've redeemed yourself.
I don't know if you noticed, but she didn't bark until I sung "Who Let the Dogs Out."
Yeah, I did notice. And that's what you've been teaching her to do.
Hey, want another treat? And do it for it.
Yes, Lily has favorites. Shroom is Lily's favorite.
And there's a difference. She listens to me better, but she cares about you more. If I go for a walk without you, you will stare at the house for like, take me like 5 minutes to get her away from the house.
I see. I was corrected. Lily is also always concerned when you scream. Yeah, that is true. True, 'tis true. None of those are the washes that I need. Everything will be alright, alright. No worries. Have fun searching for a snack. Thank you, Johnny. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Hair. A fiber. Ouch. Oh. Oh, wait, I'm not dead yet. I didn't say you were. All I said was welcome back. It's because most dwarves you see are mountain dwarves. Um, Conceptually, hill dwarves live closer to human populations, and because of, you know, humans, they tend to be taller. Whereas mountain dwarves are more secluded, and they live in mountains, so the selection for shorter dwarves is more prominent in mountain dwarves. People usually don't care about hill dwarves as much as they do mountain dwarves, unfortunately. But I'm gonna change that. Yeah, they get decapitated in the mines. And what do we think about this guy? I think the blood makes him look a lot less plain. He looks like a good kisser. This is the other one that I worked on today. Oh, hold on, let me change the reference. Is that a pole armor? Are you just happy to see me? You know, I couldn't exactly tell what this dude's weapon is, because there's like a wire coming out of it. I don't know what the Dragoons use. I've never played Final Fantasy, so I'm not sure. Knowing Final Fantasy, I feel like it could be a sword or a gun. Knowing anime weapons, it could be a sword and a gun. Tis true, tis true. Yeah, but I do believe that concludes my mini painting for today. Actually, false. I forgot that there was one last sort of thing that I wanted to do with this guy. I see wings. It's a full-on animal. They did historically create combo weapons and firearms in real life. I mean, yeah, wasn't that what a rifle with a bayonet on the end was. Nice. It wasn't a bad concept in the early days of firearms. They were inaccurate at range, took an age to reload. Why not have it double duty as an axe? Yeah. I have returned. Welcome back. I just finished up painting. Here's our dude. Yeah, blood effects are easy. Cloud is back, better go hide. Looks good though, could be straight from Dead Space. It does kind of look like a necromorph, doesn't it? I never thought about Demogorgons that way. All I see when I see that mini is Stranger Things. But who is available to raid out? Greg is online. See who else is online. System Shock. Aqua is online. Yeah, we could raid Brick. Having never played Dead Space, seen Stranger Things, or whatever the flower monster is from, I take your word for it. Oh, do you want to see what this thing looks like with its mouth closed? Hold on. It looks absolutely silly with its mouth closed. Yeah, kinda. Alright, let's alright. Incoming Demogorgon with its mouth closed. Look at it. Absolutely silly. Not scary at all. Kind of goofy. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Off to Brick we go. Uh, excuse Honestly, it kind of creeps me out more like this in the open mouth. It's very Slender Man without clothes on, like this. All right. That without clothes on, okay. I mean, what do you mean? Slender Man wears a suit. So yes, it's Slender Man without clothes on. Anyway, we're raiding Brick. Go show him lots of support. He's playing a new game tonight. Um don't know your search history, but that was something I've never seen. Ugh. Anyway. It looks like he's memeing, so we're gonna come into that. Show him lots of support, and I will see you all on Sunday. All right, good night.